One could say that virtual reality didn't properly take off this year until the PlayStation VR released. While HTC Vive and Oculus Rift had their takers, it ultimately came down to the games on offer. Fortunately, when PlayStation VR launched in October, it brought plenty of awesome games to the forefront. Not every title was a winner, but those that were made a tremendous impact in proving VR as a viable gaming medium. Here are the nominees. Battlezone VR. This isn't your dad's Battlezone. Battlezone VR is the universe reimagined as a faux Tron-style warzone with compelling shooting and excellent visuals. That is, if you're a fan of neon aesthetics and polygon shapes. Don't worry, the developer makes it work. When it comes to VR shooters, there are a few better games for beginners than Battlezone VR. Thumper. An eclectic mix of rhythmic racer, sleek high-stakes thriller, and surreal noise-filled ambiance. Thumper came out of nowhere to claim our hearts as one of the best PlayStation VR titles and games of this year. Subliminally addictive, the rhythmic violence of Thumper will draw you into its future noir like none other. Riggs, Mechanized Combat League. Sometimes you just need a game with giant mechs engaging in combat sports to prove VR is worthwhile. Riggs Mechanized Combat League did just that and so much more. The action is Rocket League-esque in terms of mayhem, and the sports tie-ins add that extra bit of competitive adrenaline to the mix. Until the real world sees the appeal of giant mech sports, Riggs is the best possible place to experience it. Eve Valkyrie. For years, Eve was a simple online MMO that galvanized its dedicated, cult-like fanbase to manic heights. Eve Valkyrie brings us that universe in a different package, one of space combat. Despite concerns with the plot and campaign, Valkyrie soared high with its awesome controls and memorable dogfights. It also didn't hurt that the game looked and sounded great. Rez Infinite. Many years ago, Rez released and many didn't know what to make of it. The combination of tunes created when shooting foes, thus promoting a sort of synesthesia to entrancing electronic soundtrack, made Rez a classic. More than a decade later, Rez Infinite brings the series into its most obvious evolution, virtual reality. And the winner is Rez Infinite. Shakespeare spoke quite a lot about the man that hath no music in him, and it wasn't exactly positive, but it's hard to imagine the sort of person who wouldn't love Rez Infinite. It's not enough to simply play along with the music. The VR version makes you one with the music. There's no distinction between you and the synesthesia generated. What other VR experiences can lay claim to accomplishing that? Area X further innovates on the game's base ambitions by setting you loose into space. Combined with the enhanced freedom and movement with the joyous trance it can put into you, Rez Infinite is easily the best PlayStation VR game yet in its headset's lifespan.